Hey guys, it's Taylor with Peak Marketing. Instead of just sending this document over to you and say, hopefully you can understand everything, I decided just to make a quick little video and walk you through it so that it's a little bit easier to digest. So let me go ahead and get my screen shared here so that we can do this together, and I'll try to be as quick as I can so this isn't some insanely long video for you guys. It is off to the side for me, so you're going to see me looking that way quite a bit. But okay, let's first jump into the opportunities that I was able to find. Okay, so where I started was I took your guys' website and analyzed some of the local specific keywords. So keywords that had like locations in them. So things like Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, those were really the main two that came up. And I think we had yeah, there's a San Diego one in here that we were able to find as well. So these were keywords that you rank for. The ones in Beverly Hills aren't terrible. Anything outside of that, though, I mean, San Diego, we're on like the fourth page. We're going back to the fifth page, sixth page, and all the way to the 10th page for some of them in Los Angeles. So that was an area where we said, okay, we're already ranking for some of these keywords. Why not try to rank a little bit better for them? But what we also did is we did a quick analysis of different keywords that we could look for inside of California itself. So let me pull up this one here. All right, so what we're looking at here, let me expand this out so you can see this a little bit better. There are several different locations throughout the state of California that I went through and I just grabbed to kind of see what kind of search volume we had. So there's, I mean, again, it's all over the place. I mean, Oakland, Irvine, Sacramento, Santa Ana, Fresno, San Bernardino, Pasadena. You get the picture, right? There's a lot of different cities that I kind of grabbed. And if we look over here on this side, this is a column showing us how many people a month are searching for specifically tax attorney within that location. So as you can tell, it's a lot. Okay, I mean, we were talking, I want to say there was 114 of them, yeah, that had 10 or more searches a month for a tax attorney in that area. So this is going to be a precursor to part of the strategy I'm going to talk to you guys about at the end of this once we look through a lot of this data. But for now, I'll just say, hey, there's a lot of opportunity here for us to be able to take advantage of the different markets that we can get some more search volume from. Okay, so if I scroll down here, I also wanted to show you this data real quick. So we saw those keywords and where you were kind of ranking. So let me just quickly come back up here. So if we just look at Beverly Hills tax attorney, right? It's showing that we're in the fourth position. What that means is if there are, let's see, there's 30 searches a month for Beverly Hills tax attorney, and we're ranking in the fourth spot, it means we get about 7% of those 30 clicks that exist. And if my math's right, that's about 2 clicks that we're going to get from that particular keyword. Not a whole lot, right? But if we start to climb up search results and we get up to this first spot, for example, we're getting nearly 40% of those clicks, which again, if I'm doing my math correctly, we're looking at about 12 clicks rather than just 2 clicks. And you can get phone calls and leads from getting 12 clicks to your website for a keyword that's this targeted. So I just again quickly wanted to show you that so you understand the opportunity of this thing. Where if we even move from 4 to 1, it's a substantial leap in the amount of traffic that the site would be able to get. Now, if there are local results, it is a slightly different click-through rate that exists for those. This is in addition to the clicks that I just showed you. So basically, we're looking at about 15% that you're going to get, regardless of the position you're in inside the local pack. Once you're in the top three, there's not, I mean, the first position has a small percentage more, but for the most part, it's 15%. And I'm not sure I can do that math right off the top of my head. So we're talking 4.5 clicks, so 4 to 5 clicks that we're probably able to get by also ranking in the local pack, in addition to the 12 clicks we could get by ranking in the number one spot. So there's, again, huge potential for us here if we are able to capitalize on it and just start to rank a little bit better, even where we're currently sitting. So the question then becomes, okay, well, how do we do this, right? How do we rank a little bit better and start to get more traffic and more leads into the site? First thing we need to look at is the current state of where we sit with our SEO. Okay, so right here, I'm looking at your guys' website specifically, and I want to draw your attention to this RD number that you see here. And we've got 279, essentially backlinks is what this number is referring to. So keep that number in mind. We'll come back to it in just a second, but 279 backlinks. We've got nearly 1,200 pieces of content or pages that are on our website that Google was able to find. And then for our technical SEO score, it's a little more complicated than that, but just to keep it simple for now, let's call it the technical SEO score that we have is a 71. Okay. Now, if we compare that to some of the top ranking competitors in Beverly Hills, where again, you guys aren't far off, you're there. But if we look at what these guys have going on, there's 306 backlinks that they have. And if we compare that going back to our number, 700, excuse me, 279. It's an end of a Friday here for me. So I'm struggling apparently with these numbers. 279 backlinks that you have compared to 306, right? So we're lacking about 30 more backlinks that we would need to get to be able to start to compete a little bit better with these top-ranking competitors. Now, when we look at their content, far and away, you guys are crushing them, right? We've got 1,200 pages. These guys only have 212. So I would say that doesn't necessarily need to be a focus in the sense of just creating sheer number of content on our website. We'll talk a little bit about content generation, but that doesn't need to be the main focus of the campaign. Okay, and then lastly, they've got a score here of 76. Okay, so 5 points higher than what we have, but again, nothing that's dramatically better than what we currently have going on. So, quick takeaways that we can look at from that quick analysis that we just did. We're lacking some backlinks, right? We need to get some more backlinks, about 30 of them when we compare to our competitors and where we're standing. It's about 30 that we need to get. Our page speed score from Google Page Speed Insights is a little low. We'd rather have that closer to 90, and that can give us a nice little boost in our rankings. We don't really rank for other locations. The ones that I'm showing you, that's really it as far as what we're showing up for. So what I would recommend is that we build out additional location pages for all those areas that have more search volume in them. So that's about 57 is what I was able to pull from our list there. There's some locations in there that have multiple variations of keywords we can rank for, but it's about 57 new pages we would want to get up on the website to start to rank in these different locations. And then the last piece here is lack of on-page SEO. So let me quickly scroll up here and kind of show you what I'm talking about. When we look at your title tag on your site, right, we've got tax litigator colon homepage. Okay, so obviously it hasn't been touched ever, right? It's never been optimized. And then when you look at some of these other guys, you got Ben Cohen, excuse me, law firm, Los Angeles tax lawyers, and then it's got Beverly Hills tax lawyers as well inside that same page there. So they have obviously optimized their site to be able to rank for that keyword, whereas we haven't done the basics yet for that to really be able to happen for us. So that's another element that we need to address is just the lack of on-page SEO on our website. Okay, so what does this all mean? Based on the competition and the amount of work that we would need to do, I'm estimating about 15 hours of work each month to really be able to get this done within like a 6 month time frame and have it start ranking a little bit better. That doesn't mean once we hit 6 months, hey, we're done and we can move on. There are several more locations that we can go and tackle. But if you just want to rank for a couple of those locations, then yeah, you could call it good after about a 6 month period and say, hey, we're getting more business that we'd like from this. So I tried to break this down into a time frame for you so you can understand what we have going on here. So the first 4 months really, where we're going to be focusing on that technical or on-page SEO, so getting the site set up better to rank for those keywords, focus on getting more of those location pages built out. And then we also need to focus on what are called local citations. So this is like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Super Lawyers, Google Business Profile, anywhere you list your business information, that's what we're talking about with a citation. We need to go through and audit the information that's currently out there because your name, address, and phone number all have to be identical across all these websites. If there's inconsistencies, it's going to make Google trust that information less and it's going to decrease how you rank in local results specifically. So once we do this audit, we then go through and we clean up all the citations that are having issues just to make sure that there aren't any inconsistencies there in the profile. Once that's done, I call that the foundation work, really. So it's like building a good foundation for us to be able to build up on with our SEO in the next couple of months. Once that's done, we get into what I call the ROI driving months. So this is where we say, okay, we should be ranking a little bit better, but now we're really going to drive particular rankings in a specific location a little bit harder. So that's where we start creating pieces of content that are more specific to particular locations, FAQs, answering questions that people may have, things of that nature. We need to build out additional local citations, so those directories that have your name, address, and phone number, and make sure that we're getting more and more of those every single month. We want to make sure we're posting on the Google Business Profile, so we'll do Google posts. 3 a week is really what this comes out to be. And then on the link building side, this is where we stand out just a little bit from other agencies when it comes to marketing. All the stuff I've kind of talked to you about before, this is all very foundational and basic stuff. Scholarship outreach is fairly unique. Now, you may have heard of it before, but we've really figured out how to scale this really well for our clients. So essentially, what we're doing is we're sending 60 emails a day to different universities and high schools and telling them, hey, we've got this scholarship that we're offering to students. Link back to it here. And we send them the link, and then we're able to get more backlinks this way while also helping out some students with some scholarships that we can put out. We actually pay for this scholarship and everything that comes with it for our clients. It's all included in the number. Generally, the scholarship amount is $500. If you'd like it to be more, then we just ask you to chip in that extra amount, but we put up the $500 scholarship so that you don't even have to worry about anything with that. 60 emails a day, and it's Monday through Friday. We try not to reach out on the weekends too much just because the response rates tend to be a lot lower. Then the last piece here is 4 guest blog mentions that we'll be able to get every single month. So guest blog mentions, we may have talked about this last time, but that's essentially just where we reach out to a blogger. We've got tens of thousands of them that we work with. We say, here's a piece of content. They link back to our clients' websites on the specific pages that we ask them to, and then we rinse and repeat this so that we can get more backlinks that way as well. Okay, so we charge $100 an hour for any work that we do. So if we're going to have 15 hours of work every single month, then it would be $1,500 a month for us to be able to go through and fulfill all the work that I just kind of showed you. Again, the hope would be that within a 6 month period, we're starting to see some improvements in rankings and more traffic and better ROI that's coming from it. Understand it takes time. Even if you had $1 million and you spent that over the course of 3 months, it still wouldn't move the needle any more than if you spent $1,500 over the course of a 6 month period. It just takes a little time for Google to be able to crawl all the work that's being done and to show that inside of search results. Last couple of things. Everything that we do is on a month-to-month basis. There aren't any contracts. Again, I think we briefly talked about this before, but you're not locked into anything. So if you try it for a month and you don't like the relationship, no harm, no foul. You can move on, and we don't hold on to anything. Everything we do, you own, so you take it all with you. If you were wanting to end that relationship there. What we do ask is just a 30-day notice to be able to be aware of that, just because occasionally we will work ahead inside of a budget. So having that grace period there just helps us be able to wrap up the campaign and then pass it off to any other new agency that's coming aboard. And then down here is just really where we have authorization signatures should we decide to move forward. So we put our signature on here saying that we're committing to fulfill the work, and then you have your signature here saying that we're authorizing Peak to do this work. I call it an authorization agreement because it's not a contract. You're just signing, saying that, hey, we're allowing Peak to get into our website and do all the work that they would need to do to be able to get us better SEO results. Okay, so that's really the quick rundown for you guys. So hopefully this helps and it's not too confusing, but I'll get this sent off to you guys. And then if you have any questions, we can hop on another call and go from there. Thanks.